In the last video, we talked briefly about artificial intelligence as well as the various components that build up AI, just to gain an understanding of what AI really is. Hello everyone, my name is Lenny from Code with Lenny Len, and in this video, we will dive deeper into AI by learning about something called machine learning, or ML for short. If you Google machine learning, you will come across multiple terminologies and you can get overwhelmed pretty quickly. I was and still am overwhelmed by some of these terminologies and different technologies that are associated with machine learning. Remember, when talking about AI, we are simply trying to mimic human behavior. We want our smart devices to speak to us. We also want our smart devices to understand what we ask of them. Just like a friend will recommend you things to buy, recommendation systems also recommend us what to buy as they learn our interests. You may have seen this in Netflix, whereby it recommends you some shows based on what you have been previously watching. These are what we call recommendation systems. The key ability in human beings is intelligence, the ability to learn and adapt. And this is where the term machine learning comes from. We are giving our computers or machines the ability to learn. And this might seem abstract at first, but let's go through a few examples to understand what machine learning is and how it's implemented. Say for example, we want to make a program that can differentiate cats from dogs. So we give it a picture and it has to tell us whether it's a cat or a dog. How do we build this program? In machine learning, there are three ways in which machines can learn. The first way is known as supervised learning. In this method, we give the program 1,000 images of dogs and 1,000 images of cats. After going through 1,000 images of dogs and cats, the program learns the key features that differentiate cats from dogs, such as color, the length of ears, the tail, the shape of the face, the size of the animal, etc. So that in the future, when we give the program a random image of a cat or dog, it can correctly classify the image as a cat or a dog. This is similar to a teacher using a few examples to teach the student. After the student views the examples, he or she learns how to solve similar problems in the future by applying the knowledge. The advantage of human beings is that we only need a few examples to learn, while for a computer program, 1,000 is considered to be a minimum, meaning that computers need a lot of examples in order to learn. In fact, the more the merrier. Another method in which machines can learn is through unsupervised learning. In this method, we give the machine 1,000 images of cats and dogs without telling the machine or program what the images are. So the program does not know whether the animals in the images are cats or dogs or lions. It doesn't even know whether the images contain animals or cats or boxes. To the computer program, the images are just a bunch of numbers. When we give these images to a machine learning program, the program will still differentiate cats from dogs. It's only that it does not know the animals are cats and dogs. It will simply group them into two clusters, one containing cats and one containing dogs. Let me explain this further. This type of learning by grouping is similar to when you have a box of random objects and you sort them by using their color, for example. You put yellow objects in a separate box and red ones in a different box. In this case, you don't have to know what the objects are. You are simply sorting them using their colors or shape or even size. This is exactly what the unsupervised learning algorithm does. It will categorize the different images into two groups by considering multiple factors such as color, the length of the ears, the tail, the shape of the face, the size of the animal, etc. The final way, or the final method by which computers learn is reinforcement learning. This method is the simplest to understand because we can relate to it the most. In this method, when the computer correctly classifies an image as a cat or dog, we reward it. and when it's wrong, we punish it. The computer strives to get more rewards and less punishments. And so in the process, it learns what is right and what is wrong. Reinforcement learning has always fascinated me since it's how we as human beings learn. When we are right, we get rewarded, maybe by a round of applause or a gift. And when we are wrong, we get punished by being scolded or being denied privileges. Eventually, we do what will get us more rewards and we avoid punishments. Reinforcement learning is pretty interesting and we will get more into this in the future. I know there are a lot of questions concerning reinforcement learning in general, but we'll get to it in the future. Okay, we have now looked at the various types of machine learning and we have even compared them to how human beings learn. And we have looked at one example of making a simple classifier. However, machine learning can be applied to almost anything. We can make a machine learning classifier that checks whether a person in an image or video is wearing a mask or not. We can build a program that checks tweets from Twitter and classifies them as positive tweets or negative tweets. An interesting idea is making a classifier that checks movie reviews and classifies the reviews as positive or negative. And this can help us determine whether a movie is good enough for us to watch it or not. We can also build a program that can predict stock prices of a company by looking at the previous stock prices of the company and learning the general trend, enabling it to predict the future. Instead of classifying cats and dogs, we can classify different plants or flowers or even cars. Now, believe me when I say that there are thousands of applications for machine learning out there that anyone can come up with. And this is what makes machine learning a valuable skill right now. And if you're wondering where we will get 1,000 images of cats and dogs, do not worry, because I will show you that it is definitely possible to even get 1,000,000 images if we want to. As we go on with the series, I will talk about deep learning and neural networks. For now, do not worry about them, they're just other terminologies in the internet, but we will certainly get to them as we proceed in this Machine Learning Basics by Lenny series. In the next video, we will start building a simple machine learning program. I will show you what you will need and explain everything in the simplest way that I know. We will make a simple project and I will even show you how we can implement machine learning in other projects as well. And in every lesson, I'm still going to try and bring in a little chunk of knowledge so that we can continue building up our general understanding towards artificial intelligence and machine learning. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. Stay tuned and subscribe to ensure that you don't miss out on all the fun. Thanks for watching.